Welcome to step 12 of 14. In this step, we explore further what we discussed in step 11. In step 11, we discussed start to take action. After you have created the images, after you have thought right, after you have held your image to your vision with faith, after you have kept the purpose behind your vision, your image, after you have increased the people, take action. That is what we discussed in the last step, step 11. Now, in step 12, we take action a little further. And in 12, we are discussing a concept called make your action efficient. Make your action efficient. It's not just about action. How efficient is that action? You can only advance by making yourself larger than your present place. You cannot be larger than your present place when you are in the habit of living undone any work associated with being in that place or at that level. There is a certain place where you are right now as you hear me. You are trying to get better. You are trying to go higher. You are seeking increase. You are seeking elevation. You are seeking enlargement, but there is somewhere where you are. Now, you cannot be larger than that place where you are, although that is what you desire. You can't get larger than that place when you are in the habit of living undone any of the work which is associated with that place. Let's use the example of a teacher, a class teacher. This class teacher seeks to be elevated to be the head teacher. Wants to be a head teacher somewhere. Maybe not in that school, but somewhere. He wants to grow. She wants to grow into the head teacher. But this teacher here, who seeks to grow into a head teacher, seeks to get larger than the role of teacher, is in the habit of leaving certain subjects untaught, certain lessons untaught, certain children or pupils or students uncared for, unmentored, not encouraged, not lifted from discouragement, from fear, from doubt, from uncertainty. This teacher is in the habit of overlooking the needs of her students, his students. That is called inefficient action. The teacher is there in the school, and takes action, but is inefficient. People who never fill their current places are a burden on society. They are a burden on government. They are a burden on industry. They are a burden on commerce. Sorry to say this, but we have so many people in our African setting who never fill their current places. This accountant in a government office, in a private place, never fills their current place. The clients come to check on their payment, to check on something. The officer is not there. Maybe the officer is there but distracted with something. The officer is there but he has not looked up the records. The officer is there but he's feeling low, he's off mood. That is not filling your current place. And you cannot become larger than that place. Because life by design, seeks to get better, to get larger. And that life is also inside you. That's why you aspire for bigger. You aspire for better. You aspire for higher. You aspire for larger. But the habit in the way you take action, if it is inefficient, then you cannot grow to your aspiration. Worldly progress and the progress of our African nations is retarded and degenerated by those who make no effort to fill the place they are holding. Officials who never make effort to fill the places they are holding. Administrators who never make effort to fill the places they are holding. Businessmen and businesswomen, African businessmen and businesswomen, who never make effort to fill the places they are holding. There is a place you hold in our community. If you are the shopkeeper, there is a place you hold. As a community, we've said we will buy our food from you. We will buy our supplies from you. That is a place in our community. That is a role in our community. Now, when you never open the shop, when you never open it on time, when you never serve well, when you never deliver value, you are making no effort to fill the place we have given you to hold in our community. The ultimate result is that you will not become larger than your present small shop. You will not get larger than your current business. And that's what we mean by your action should be efficient. Make your action efficient. There is no family, society, or setting or place that advances when people remain smaller than the places they fill, than the positions they fill, than the roles they hold. Actually, in science, when any organism develops more life than it can express in its current state, it develops the organs of a higher plane, of a higher form of life that results in a new species. Maybe now the new species will be able to fly while the other older one wasn't able to fly. New species result from organisms that fill their place. Your wealth attraction depends on you applying this law. Each day you live is either a day of success or a day of failure. A successful day is one which gets you what you want. When most of your days are failures, you can't get what you want. When most of your days are full of action, where you were doing things half-half, there is something you needed to do, you never got it done. There is something you needed to do, you did it a quarter way. There is something you needed to do, you did it but the customer went away angry, went away displeased. That day is a failure. If every day of yours is a success, your action was efficient, you can't help but attract wealth. If there is anything that you could do today, you could have done that thing today, and you don't do it, you have failed concerning that thing. We are discussing, make your action efficient. I am African. I am born in Africa. I live in Africa. I work in Africa. I know that Africans, we love action. We love taking action. We love doing something. When we are inspired, we want to do something. Is our action efficient? I am afraid much of our action is not efficient. Much of our action is not efficient. And the results can show. Our results are small. Effects of failure may be more disastrous than you imagine. We say any day which is run in an inefficient way is a failure. But the effects of that failure may be more disastrous than you can see today. If a customer walks out of the shop unhappy, you can say, well, after all, it's not you who buys all the stock. Let them go. No, it is more disastrous than you can imagine. You can't foresee the result of that trivial action that angered the customer. You can't foresee the results of that trivial action that made the parent pull the child out of the school. You'll say, after all, we have 1,000 students in the school. You can't know the workings of all the forces unleashed by the Spirit in response to your vision and faith to work for you. Much may depend on you taking just a simple step of action. Simple action, simple acts may be the key that opens the door of opportunity for you to access immense possibilities. You can't know all the combinations which the Spirit makes for you in human affairs and in the universe. You can't know. Neglecting or failing to take certain little acts may delay the receiving of what you want. Therefore, do daily all that you can do that day. Do daily all that you can do that day. The scriptures teach us again here. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it as unto God. Someone say, do it as a sacrifice unto God. Whatever your hand finds to do it with fear and trembling, with reverence and trembling as you serve that customer, as you design that thing. Do it with reverence and trembling and honor and dedication and sacrifice and commitment and with all your heart, like you are preparing a sacrifice for God. This does not mean you overwork. Don't overwork. This does not mean that you rush blindly into work or business in order to maximize the number of things you do in one day. Don't try to do tomorrow's work today or to complete a week's work in one day. What counts is the efficiency of your every act. Every act you take, ensure it is efficient. Because every inefficient act is a failure. Every life spent doing inefficient acts is a failure. But every efficient act is a success. If every act of your life is efficient, your whole life will be a success. We've been discussing a step called make your action efficient. Thank you so much. I welcome you to step 13 of 14.